Mary, why don't you take it from here and introduce yourself and then share a little bit about what we're going to learn today?
Hey everybody, not as on camera as much anymore, but Mary, the director of customer experience. I've been with Enginehire for a little over 4 years. I've used Enginehire for 5.5-ish years. So I definitely know the system, been there since it started, got to learn a lot about it, and then I moved towards working with Enginehire to help agencies because I really love that aspect and to help agencies kind of grow and use the system and teach. And yeah, so some of you I don't know because you're still onboarding and I'm not part of that team, but the others I've probably seen you in chat or a ticket or support, kind of jump around on the team and kind of play multiple hats sometimes. So today we're going to be going over some top three things that we wanted to discuss. We didn't want to give too much at once just because I know it can feel really overwhelming. And I think with just like sticking to like three things and then, do this again where we're going to go over some other things, kind of helps also direct our focus. And so the first thing is going to be over our new view of applicants who apply for a placement job. Our second thing is our AI profile template builder that we got going. And then we're also going to go over like a flow of working with candidates that can help your agency with getting it through faster of screening, not spending as much time of like checking what they did, all these things help you be able to focus on who you really want to interview and kind of proceed in your agency. I did set up a dashboard. I know it is going to be when you see it, a little bit more childcare with the words, but it works the same for everybody. You can just change the word to your industry. So just keep that in mind as by nature, I just put the childcare words in there. So I'm going to share my screen and get started. Um, let's go. Okay, I'm going to share, move you guys over to a different monitor. Okay, Danny, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay,
Perfect.
making sure I did it right. Okay, so this is my fake dashboard. A lot of times when I'm working with agencies, I often go into my own test dashboard and I test it out. I made it a little bit more real for the webinar. So you can see I added some logos. But when you go to placement jobs and you might have renamed it, but it's the place where you go and see all like the long-term, you know, steady jobs. And I posted a job. When you view applicants, typically we've had this view um, here, pretty standard, a list. We've gotten a lot of feedback that a lot of agencies kind of use Trello a lot in like more of a board view. So if you click over here on board view, it's going to switch it to that style of Trello, I would call it. And you can customize it in a lot of different ways. But the board is to be able to see who's doing what, where are they at in the hiring process of this job. If you don't want all of these statuses, it's really customizable. If you go, find that gear icon and be like, I don't want like all of these statuses in here. Get them out of here. It customized so you only see those ones that you really want to see. And then you can also, I'm gonna add them back just for my purposes. You'll see that they have these contact cards similar to a card, and you can customize what is on here. Like what fields do you want to appear from their profile that you kind of always need to know when you're viewing. You can drag and drop them around. And then you can also view their profile from here, and you can also view other jobs they applied to. So if you click it, you would see every job they've applied to, or maybe that you've added them as an applicant for that placement job. So it makes it really easy so you don't have to go to their profile and then go to my jobs and then go to applicants. Like that's, 5 steps here. Let's see what they're doing and proceed. So this is a nice option we've created. We know everyone works different with their process of staffing and hiring for jobs. So this is a nice different view. While you're using it, since we did just come out with it, as always, if you had feedback of like, if I could have this appear on there or this appear, feel free to go ahead and, give us that feedback. When Danny makes that post, that might be a good area on the community to kind of put in there so we can get feedback on this new feature of how you like it or what's not working for you. So that was kind of the big thing of a new
Mary,
view, your
could
applicant.
you, Mary, sorry, could you go back to basically like the broad view of your dashboard and show everyone how you got there one more time?
Mhm. Yeah, so just placement jobs. If you've renamed it, it's just the one that looks like a little suitcase. Click it, and then I just went to the job that, posted and click view applicants, and then I clicked board view. So you can switch between views anytime you need to with a quick little click. So,
Perfect.
and then that
Thank you.
gear icon. If you're unsure of a setting, try a gear icon. So sweet. So that's a nice little update that we have. Then the other thing, the next topic is that the AI profile builder. We know agencies love to customize, have more options, creating your templates to be on brand, more professional, or stand out a little bit more. If you go to more advanced templates, we're going to head over to profile templates. See, I'm in here a lot. We're going to go ahead and click an add new template. Whatever name you want to call it, this is you for you and your agency. Go to profile. I'm going to go with candidate because I don't have any clients in here. If you want it to be only for a certain type or for a certain status, you'd have it here. Then you can choose, based off who you want it to view. And then we're going to click create template from scratch. When you do this option, you're going to see you can, design one in here or go with AI. So we're going to, just put in some uh, resume that is professional and just like you're talking to ChatGPT, pretty much. And also, luckily, it doesn't worry about spelling. Education, work history, bios, skills. You can include more if you want, and then just go ahead and click generate. You can also upload an image. Maybe you have an example of one you want it to look like. Um, Click generate. Yeah. Give it a second. It takes a little bit to think about what you're wanting and asking, like typical ChatGPT and AI when you ask it, got to take a second. Speaking of that, when I created this logo, I think I talked to ChatGPT for too much because when I created this logo last night in ChatGPT, I was like, have Mary's agency. It made it of me and my son, and I've never really told ChatGPT about my son. So now I'm like, oh gosh, it knows me a little too well. It's a little scary, but it could have been random. But telling Danny that today, I was like, it looks like me and my son. If you don't know, if you're a little bit newer, I have a son, Kale. He's 3, and a lot of you knew there when I was pregnant, and he also joins meetings for the first year of his life. He partially worked at Enginehire, so a lot of you saw him. Um, I just did this last night. I wonder if it's because I'm sharing. Normally this works. I did it like 3 times last night. If not, I'll just restore the one I deleted. Because right now we only have like 6 different or 7 or 8 different like templates you can use, but now this is a way to like really customize and create a different design if you want something different. It also auto-populates fields into it, so then when you can adjust like, oh, I don't want it to say that question, it kind of already populates your information.
Yeah, I'll jump in too on this for a second because I am lucky enough to have very one-on-one close relationships with Lokesh, who makes a lot of the AI features for Enginehire. And this one came out because a lot of people, branding is front and center. It should be a very, you know, it should be something that everybody wants front and center. And while we've had the designer, it's no secret that it is complicated to use and have it built exactly the way that you want it. So we asked Lukesh if he could have it, you be able to describe the type of template that you want. And what's here right now that Mary's just populated, uh, which is the really most important part about this, is it knows where to pull all those fields in from. So the better you describe it in the describe layout, colors, color style, you share what it wants, just like you saw Mary type in bio and skills and school graduation dates and just all of the things that you really want in there. Um, put that in there, and they'll know like, oh, that's from over in this part of the profile, and it'll know to pull it in. So yeah, and Mary's now exists, and with that as well, like Mary had touched on it, that if you create one like Canva, or you just Google search what makes a really great profile and it has a picture, you can put the picture in as a reference, and it can go, oh, I kind of know what that layout would be, and tries to interpret it just as best as it can. And hopefully this gets everybody to a much more brand forward, unique place with all of their profile templates. Back to you,
Feel
Mary.
like with any AI, it's not perfect when it's like the shape, things like that. So it gives you a good layout and then you can customize and adjust. You can delete, like, I don't want any of this here. You can like delete what you really want to appear, or you could add on to it. So it creates a good layout. And before we put this in, our whole team was in here testing out, seeing what it could do, writing insane things to see what we could get from it. It was pretty cool to test that out and try different images to see what it could do. And we each created like something really unique and different. So yeah, this is a great way to kind of go beyond our templates because right now, as you see, we have these templates and a lot of agencies are using them. And I know each agency wants to kind of stand out, be different, unique. You can now go ahead and make your own. So that was anything else, Danny, on that one before I move on?
The only other thing that I can think about, and I'm not sure if it's deployed yet, um, which again, we have this really cool privilege of being able to log into a staging area. So we get to see what the developers are working on and test it out before it goes everywhere it's supposed to go. And so the next iteration of this, and you'll see this in a lot of the spots as we tackle them one by one for all of the AI areas, is it's really important that when using AI that you get to reiterate and have a conversation with it about, tell me more about X, Y, and Z, or I like this, but I would also like it if you could do that, or blah blah blah, all of those things. So the next iterations or levels of these parts should be that when it creates something for you, you'll soon-ish be able to have the option to have that conversation with the AI inside Enginehire. So you can go, oh yes, I love this template, but you missed this. Or now looking at it, I saw that we should actually be adding this own special area about education, and it should look like this. And I wanted to have blah, 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 all the crazy things, right? And so you can keep iterating with it, which, as you know, like through other places on the platform, you've already probably been using AI. Having that level of being able to dive deeper in and go to the next level with what you needed to do for you is important. So hopefully you'll see those start coming up more and more. And as you see them, you'll also notice a lot of the AI places have a thumbs up and a thumbs down and a comment area. Those actually go to the development team. So if you're using an AI feature and you don't like what has happened, generally there'll be like a thumbs up and a thumbs down in a text box. And so you can thumbs it down. You can be like, I don't like that it did this, or you should try to do this, or thumbs it up. This is really cool, but it should also do X, Y, and Z. Whatever you'd like us to know, that is like a really great way to get it to go directly to the developer, Lokesh, in this instant, uh, of like what it is you like, what you need, and it kind of bypasses a lot of the tickets because he's working on this, and so it's just one of those another areas for it's not broken, it's not I don't know, it's just it should be helpful. So definitely give us your feedback in those areas when you see them.
Mhm. And it is coming soon. I saw it in the staging. It will be like that chat where you're in chat GPT or AI, you're talking to them of like, I don't want blue, I want purple. Like you'll be able to adjust that way. So that'll be like the next layer as we add that on because you got your base, but now we can keep talking to it to adjust it. So that's our other area. The next thing we're talking about is one thing that I'm often doing is in my spare time, which is limited, I go into this dashboard, this fake dashboard that I've created, and I'm always seeing what Enginehire can do. I emailed a while ago of adding a section into the profiles that keep candidates saying like what they are they looking for work? What are they looking for? Where they can always update and it always updates like that secondary status. So that's what I do a lot is I'm always in my dashboard testing out all the features, seeing what I can build together with them. And one thing that I've come across is, and after, hearing and seeing a lot of agencies, worked with a lot of you, is some feedback of like, I wish it did this, or I spend so much time screening candidates. I wish it did a little bit more. And so one thing that I did is I created this application refresh just to make sure that because I was playing around earlier, is I created this application, ask the basics. But what it does is when it goes to, ask position, answer the basic questions that I would need to kind of know, they can say, I want to finish now or in the profile. And that would create two different workflows happening for them. If they click finish now, it will send, it will have everything that I need to kind of proceed, move forward. Besides a couple things after, it reviews, it auto rejects if they can't do certain things, if they don't have certain years of experience or they can't do this or that, it auto rejects. But then it moves them to a next step and they can always come back and finish it from here and they'll get reminders. But if they're like, I don't have time right now, finish in the profile, click submit, then they'll move to a different status and a different workflow. Um, I'll go to my candidates. I kind of fill them out. So Sarah clicked I want to complete it now, completed it in that application form. Her status is application completed. Again, you guys can customize what you want it to say. You can see that in her profile, everything that I had on the application is filled out, what I needed. It already, if it was real references, contacted references, sent out. It already, sent out. It has a little alert because I just used my phone number so that if someone really did have that real number, they wouldn't get notification. So that already completed. It sent Sarah an email to log in, complete the next step, which is going to be reviewing the handbook and taking the evaluation, which you could do at other steps, but this way they know they've read the handbook. I don't really have a handbook, just a cute little picture of my kid. And I have a million pictures on my computer, so I upload it to him. And they view it, they go and they take a test. Within here, you can put a video instruction. You can go ahead, create a test, see how their skills are. Did they read the handbook? Do they understand your process? Anything you really want. And you can have more than one. Add it in here. You can even have a section that is like instructions, like welcome to, the agency, complete these steps. They have like a checklist they need to complete. And then one nice thing is before you even interview them, they can go in here and record all of these answers on a video it helps the agency, figure out who they are. Are they taking the time? See their personality, see who they are. And then really, if I want to interview them, I've already, got a good idea of who they are and if I want to proceed. So they're able to upload all these. They can click record, answer each one. Super helpful. Kind of some basic questions that maybe you ask during a real interview that you just want to get out of the way before and um, make time for that interview to really go over their experience. Then they would update anything else, sign agreements. What I mentioned earlier was like what you're looking for. This is it, where it's like, yes, I'm looking for a job. This is all the things. And it would update that secondary status of like, I'm looking for a job, or can I, share you on social media, download our app, get them to do that. And as they update that, their secondary status, so you kind of always know who's looking for work, who's not looking for work. Um, then for the who am I in? Sarah, when she goes in here, her status is application completed. She'll have a button that says, my profile is complete. And when she does that, she's going to move to a next status for me of um, review profile. So I would need to go review her profile. If I want to interview her, then I would do application approved and then schedule an interview. But it saved me a lot of time of pre-screening, making sure I really want to interview her. Will she be good enough to join the team and ask those basic questions, or I don't have to ask them in an interview, and then move to completed and active, and then all these things. With that, there's status reminders that go out. If they start it, there's a reminder. There's also reminders to go out when their application's complete. Hey, you haven't done this yet, check in, make sure you go do this. And then if they don't do it after no certain amount of times, they're going to move to the status lost. Um, they never completed. Then Martha over here, she was like, I don't got time for this. I gotta do it later. So she went into, I'll complete it in my profile. And with that, she got an email to log in and complete everything that was on the application. So she's gonna log in. She doesn't have an evaluation yet. These are the instructions. Um, Once she completes everything, she'll have a button that says, my application is complete. She'll click it, go to the next step that we were just at with Sarah, and then proceed forward. So this allows them to go into their profile or application. You got what you need. Her references will be contacted. By the time I'm ready to interview, she will be ready to join the team. And then one really cool thing about it is when they are active and complete. Let's get through this. Oh, great. I'm gonna get out of here, Zoom. There. Is you can have a you can add a video to their dashboards as well, like welcome to the team, all the information. You can embed a nice little video to welcome to the team. So this process really is short, sweet, to the point, allowing the agency to spend more time on other things. Lots of automation with reminders going out on statuses. You can even have them as SMS reminders or push notifications. Probably don't have their app yet downloaded, so an SMS notification would be great. As soon as they apply or do application completed, they get a text so they know to check their email with the next steps. Giving them reminders, hey, you haven't completed, you still interested, and it just moves them along. You can auto reject. Yeah, it's nice, simple. I don't have a bunch of statuses. It's quick and easy. So that's what I've created with using the application of going through fast. I notice agencies like to get information they need and not waste time to get to an interview and be like, yeah, now he's going to ask you questions to be nice. That always sucks. So this help you, especially the video questions. I love that the most is have them answer in video instead of just text. So you can really hear them, see them, get a vibe for their personality. You know, when people talk about their work, you can see that they light up. So that's a big one for applying. So these are pretty easy things to set up. I also recommend that using tags and badges are really important. You can have everything checked off based on what they answer. So you can have all your tags of experience, languages, it all be checked off, and then badges as well. It's really nice to add your badges um, so that it just looks pretty when you send a profile too.
Can
So,
I jump
mhm.
in for a second, Mary? On this screen too, if you click the gear icons to any of like the types or tags, those can be conditioned, which usually is not the most important thing. But depending on what industry you're in, you could really want to be like, these types of tags only exist for a home care worker or
Mhm.
for a nurse or for a pharmacist.
Yeah.
And so, like, you don't have to see all of the tags that don't really apply to everybody. So, only when you click that it's this type of person could these other tags then appear, which can make it a lot easier to find what you're looking for and not have too much stuff on your dashboard. Like I said, it's kind of rare to me for somebody to have too many tags that is just like an overload. But you could do it where it's conditioned. So, full-time nanny has the tag of special needs, but maybe, family assistant doesn't have that checkbox for whatever reason. You can condition them so you can see only what you need to see for those types of candidates or clients.
Same with your statuses. If you kind of have multiple things, you can base them off types too. Um, just helpful to kind of keep things separate. You can also use that workflow secondary status. And then also something that I've seen a lot of agencies haven't been really using. I just thought of it now, but in your interview tab, instead of having these big text box areas, which is great, add notes, we can actually format them to be a section like they fill out over here. We can link questions over so it auto populates so you already know the answer. Um, or it can also link to tags and types as well. You're like, oh, do you have this? And you're like, yep, okay. It check off their tag or it check off their types for them. And you can have different questions appear based off their type as well. So it's really nice of like, I'm interviewing a nanny. These are the questions I need to ask nanny. You can rate them. It's just helpful than a big text. That could always be like a lot to look at and always harder to adjust, especially when you're talking to somebody. Instead, you could just have it like this, where like yes, no, drop downs makes it a lot easier um, by doing that. It's really helpful to have that. I just saw something else and then it left my brain. Um, so utilizing that is just extremely helpful. So yeah, that's creating a simple process. I've seen some agencies, get a lot, and you do want to get a lot of information. And it is really hard, and it's best to go off, your area and your location of what works best. This just kind of is a good way to show that you can create a lot of automation with the application and um, workflows of getting that information to see if you want to interview, so you don't have to interview um, if not needed. Auto rejection's the great one too. I've seen a lot of agencies do where if you don't have certain years of experience, reject. Can't do this, reject. Um, makes it really nice and easy. So
Mary, Tanisha just tossed in a question about how to get the interview notes area that you were just in to be from the boxes to the format
yeah,
that yours is.
I
I was
can show
hoping you could
that real
show that.
quick. So I'm just gonna create, I'm gonna go into profile builder. I moved a little quick, so sorry about this. I'm gonna try and go slow. I'm gonna click add a section, and this is just going to be interview questions. I'm gonna make a section, candidate, click that general, and I'm just gonna add like, and I'll just block. I think I'm checking out for the holidays a little early. So you can go here, and then we're gonna go ahead and click save just because we've added that question. So how we can have it auto-populate is if we go to this gear icon of that section, you can have it be, you can have it auto-populate there. Let me try this. It just did it for another form. We'll get that too. I'll post it on the community. But you can have it auto-populate, or the other thing is you can share the model. Um, I'll get back to you guys on where that setting is, but you can have it auto-populate. Like if they do this, it auto-populates into here. And that way you don't have to answer it. But then if I add this section to the profile, um, doesn't really matter where. I'm gonna add a section. And then what I'm gonna do in additional properties is I'm gonna do show an interview panel. So it's gonna show in the interview panel. If you want something in the admin panel, you can do is admin panel. So you can have it over there too. Let's go to this person. You can see it's here. So you could add on to this and have more questions of radio, things like that, where it's just super easy to fill out if you add, I can't add it from here, but you can add more, um, making it super easy. Speaking of sections, is something I've seen is when you guys do references, is you have different questions based off of the type of reference. If you ask them what type of reference, is this childcare, is this character, is this professional, whatever it is, if you select, you can have it trigger different reference questions. And how you do that is, so if I click childcare, that reference would get childcare references check questions. If I click character, they're not going to get questions about childcare. So how I did that is I'm going to go back to more in application profile builder. And I'm going to go to my reference check questions. And I just show conditioned it. So expand all is I can have it be where if they picked it's childcare, they will get this question. If they did this, or you can have it based off type. If the candidate's type is housekeeper, their references are going to get a housekeeper, but you can have different questions go based off what they pick in the reference section. Um, Making it really nice so you can really customize your questions, making sure you're getting those answers that you need. Um, so that just came to my head. So I'm gonna go to the chat and kind of go there. This chat's really hard to read. Danny, if you want to ask some of the questions that are going on.
Yeah, I think we've mostly got them answered. If you're, here, definitely again still utilize the chat a lot to ask any of the questions that you're looking for. Uh, Super helpful. I did want to mention one from Marcia that she asked if the email templates work the same way as the profile templates, which there is an AI function for email templates now, but it doesn't design them. It will just, and in a very different and cool way, it can help you. It can help figure out which trigger and settings to turn on for that email, so you don't have to do quite so much.
Yeah, like
Uh,
this. The little
figuring out which
icon.
trigger is the right one for what you really want it to do,
Hmm.
which is cool in its own way, but it doesn't really do the design part yet. Um, Peter asked if you can have a secondary status get triggered, and I was looking back and forth with my own demo dashboard, and the answer to that is like 95% yes. There are some sections that don't have conditions for uh, secondary statuses, but I would be surprised if you're using one that is not letting you do that for it for this type of.
Yeah, there's quite a bit that offer. Mostly if you find somewhere, just let us know. Just because I know, Peter, you actually have a ticket in about this. But yeah, there's a lot. Even like conditional settings, you can have it trigger based off what they picked that secondary status, kind of like that feature of like what are they looking for work now? You can trigger that. But pretty much everywhere except for like Danny said, like one or two places still need that secondary status trigger.
Um, Also seeing mhm. uh Brooke asked a really great question, which is about how does all of this work on mobile when we find our candidates have a really hard time with completing our application when using their phone, which comes up a lot. And I don't know really like the best way for a anyone to use their phone to do anything like this when they're working with, professionals like yourselves. But what I do know has been really helpful in this is when people, and like I said, I don't know the best messaging to get this across to them, but for them to use the voice assist. So a lot of boxes you'll see like, I think more common than not, you'll see like the AI button now as an admin. But your candidates, if it's enabled, would see a voice assist button where they can click that and they can just talk into their phone what they want to go there. And then they can go back and edit it to make sure that it's exactly how they want to present themselves to you. But that is like the number one way that I would suggest when people are using their phones for this stuff to just tap the voice assist. Again, it's hard to make sure that they get that message loud and clear to do that, but that really does significantly improve people filling out this information on their phones.
Yeah, I think with any form you fill out with any system or thing, it can always be tricky on your phone, depending on like your screen size or whatever it is. Um, it can be always tricky to fill out things. So I know we use our phones a lot for everything, but yeah. Any other certain questions about anything or really engine hire at all? Before why you guys ask more questions is I know you guys have seen that we've moved ticket systems. Um, so if you click this chat icon, you'll see that you can ask a question, which kind of goes, as you know, goes to a bot first, and that kind of helps with those basic questions. And you can talk to support, report a bug, which is our new bug ticket or ticket that we used to have, or request a feature where you can search, you can see messages. I know there's a little glitch right now with it, but we figured out what was causing it. So soon you'll be able to see all your past messages that you've been using in here. And then you can also vote on features, and we'll be posting like important news, or if there's like something that's, being worked on, we'll announce it here, and you'll also see like a pin up here. And the reason why we moved is we were using a system and we have outgrown it completely. It was not very organized. It didn't have really anything to help us grow. There was really not any AI, which is AI is really, I think, important at times. Um, it was just a mess on our end. And to be able to grow as support team, we had to change. We tested out five, six different systems before making a decision. We put it on demo and we tested. We tried it out as a team. We went through all the features. We did all these meetings, and the one that we went with was the best option for us. And I know change can be really hard and it's not always perfect. I know you guys all moved to Engine Hire and experience the same thing with your clients of like, I can't find this now, or this wasn't the same way. That happens with moving with any system. And we're working through it. We kind of had to push it out because we needed to get out of our old one. Right now we're, moving between two systems to get everything into one. And yes, it's going to be a little messy at first, but we had to make this change to be able to grow and be better customer experience for you and for our team to be more organized. Um, we just couldn't do it anymore in our old one. That one was just kind of falling apart. So,
I just want to jump in here for a moment on this too, because I don't want it to get all depressing. Uh, but there's a lot more features in the new way that support the new system that we're using for support. So within that, you can take a video, you can chat to, our team per you usually can anyways. It finds the articles easier for you. So it has just better AI and like, finding those articles of like the things that you're looking for. Um, and all of that is to say that it's just, trying to make support easier. It's kind of funny. I know that when someone has asked me before, we all share, see what's going on. That's kind of like what's really cool about it support is you might feel like you're talking to one person, but you're like actually like the whole team is pretty much available for us to tag someone and go, oh, I don't know where that is, but somebody else might. And there's a whole bunch of ways. Support, you're not generally talking to one person. You're really talking to like the whole team is around there rallying together to make sure that you're getting the support that you need. I'd also suggest like if you're trying to find something, don't go clicking around for like even to me like 5 minutes is like way too long of clicking around. Use the support uh, button at the bottom and try to get it to help you find the article that you're looking for or talk to the right support person for you. The system, that's what has made Enginehire is so cool is that it's so there to fit your agency. And so like there's just like a lot of settings and they're all over the place and no one person can know where all of them are, but we're hoping that AI will just figure it all out for everybody and get you to the right place. Um, thanks everyone for joining. If anybody has any uh questions, like keep throwing them in the chat for now. I know we're gonna wind this down, but I will open up a thing. I'll probably say thank you everyone for joining us in the webinar, and we can keep all of those you know, everything can keep going in there all collectively and good. We will do another one of these events next month. So happy holidays and enjoy the wrappings up of this year for everyone. Um, yeah, and we'll do another one about this, about some different features and areas within Enginehire that I think everybody could really benefit from. So thanks again. Again, and I know I feel like I say this a lot, but it's definitely like worth repeating is like, thank you so much for joining us, talking to us, having the conversations with all of us. I find it really sad when I find out someone has gone somebody else somewhere else to yell about something, and it's like, oh, you didn't actually talk to any of us yet, because I know we would have talked to you. So reach out whenever you need any help, have an idea, a thought, whatever. We really do love it. We appreciate it. We love working with all of you. So thanks so much for joining us. Mary, thanks so much for guiding us today.
mhm.
We will send out a recording of this just as soon as possible. And thanks again. Really, truly appreciate each and every one of you, Mary. I also really appreciate you. So thank you and
Thank
your
you.
team.